Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Live SEO Support, your favorite SEO Q&A live stream. How you doing today, Nicholas?
That's right. I'm going to try and talk in a smooth voice just like you because I think it's soothing. And let's test it out for our viewership out there. Guys and girls out there, if you like the way we're talking now, go ahead and give us a little shout out in the chat. Otherwise, we'll proceed to talk how we normally talk.
I think for YouTube, you have to give the energy. Be like, hey guys, we're going to show you how to make $2,000 a day using ChatGPT and copy and pasting.
Dude, yeah, no, $2,000 a day is not enough. They want the big bucks, you know.
8K a day.
Yeah, life-changing money,
it's a one-way
baby.
ticket to Money Town, baby. Let's go.
Money
You're lucky
Town.
you're here because you're going to be the only ones we tell about this secret.
Yeah. No course needed. Just come on down. We're giving it all away.
What's going on, Phil?
People hate us for this one secret.
What's up, Phil? What's up, Derek? How you guys doing today? Hope you are well.
Hello.
Oh, I gotta turn off my foot massager. Probably making a heap of racket, huh?
Yeah. I would move that microphone closer to yourself as well.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably better. But all right, guys. You know,
maybe this got
there. Whatever you just did was really good. That's the thing about the Yeti. It really likes to be like right in front of you. You should just get one of these things that I have.
This make it better or worse?
I think it's better.
Okay, I think my kid at some point turned my volume all the way down.
You just get one of these lapel mics. It's small. You can sell them.
I have one.
You have one?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it way better than the Blue Yeti, to be honest. I don't know why anyone would ever buy one of those things. I guess they kind of look cool. I think the whole thing is that they look cool, and
they're also like affiliate marketers' favorite one to throw out there. I think because I've had it for forever, and at the time it was the one that everybody preached about. I think actually,
I'm the one that told you to buy it.
Yeah.
So I got affiliate marketed.
I'm the one that told you to buy it.
No, because I remember just like looking on Reddit and everything. It was the one that most people were recommending.
Yeah.
But yeah, this.
Yeah, it does look kind of nice, but no, I agree. The lapel mic does sound better, and it's what, $20-$30?
And it's way smaller. You know, you can just take it anywhere.
Yeah, for
way
sure.
better. And no like table vibration and shit. You don't have to worry about a stand or anything or.
No, it's nice for sure.
So yeah, maybe we'll put an affiliate link to this lapel mic.
I was literally just gonna say that. Yeah.
I was like, it's
Go
like
ahead,
20 or
throw it
30
in
bucks
there.
now, so whatever. Derek, we are doing A-okay. We are ready to get you guys' questions answered. Yeah, don't know if today's gonna be a busy stream or a slow stream. So if you have any questions, look like YouTube. I don't know if it's broken or no one's just showed up yet, but
Let me jump in there.
if you guys have any questions at all, it doesn't
going on.
matter how stupid or small or beginner or advanced you think they are, just ask us the questions. We don't care. That's what we're here to do. So, yeah. I think we're going to go ahead and get started with an audit. And it's actually a website that we already audited, Nick, but he wants more audit.
Oh gosh, okay.
So he sent us 4 URLs here. And I just gave you the URLs. I think what we're going to do is just audit strictly just the on page of these URLs, just to see if he's doing his on page correctly. So yeah, I'll pull up something for you guys in Ahrefs as well, just so you can see what's going on with the site overall.
Okay, yeah, I remember this site. Don't really remember what was up with it, if I'm being honest. Nice site, though. Oh, real estate niche.
All right, so that's what we're going to do for this site. We're going to go ahead and audit his on page, so let's get into it. As you can see, just looking at it real quick, it looks like he hasn't really gained much traffic or anything over the past year or so. Yeah, just kind of stagnating around 300 traffic, which isn't, the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah. For real estate, if you sell, one house, one apartment, you're doing pretty
The
good.
thing is, he's got about 1,050 pages indexed, which is,
What I'm
300 traffic for 1,000 pages is not really what you want to see.
no. What I'm curious about is whether any of this is auto-generated content. And like every time we audit a real estate site,
Yeah,
that's something that I'm immediately
I
concerned
hate
with
auditing these
is,
things.
yeah, because it's also going to be dependent on what IDX they use, who's building these pages, and even if they're building these pages and they look beautiful, if it's just content that's being pulled from somewhere else and that, any other real estate website can use it, you're getting duplicate content issues, etc. So, here I guess I could copy paste some of this content into Google. It's maybe
Why does it say archives in his H1? It's like
I
it's
don't
like
know.
kind of like a keyword. It's just a location keyword and then archives. I wonder what
Not
his
sure.
main keyword is here.
Okay, I think it is unique content. I mean, it's a real estate site, so
The thing
there's
is,
no like contextual interlinking, but that's pretty normal.
so like, what is this page? Is this page just supposed to be like all about this area or like what?
Yeah, it's a quote sub-district in X.
So the page is actually supposed to be just like a completely informational page. It's not supposed to be about real estate, right? Because it kind of just, well,
Well,
if you look at
I
it,
think it's talking about it. Yeah, it's talking about a district, but then it shows like real estate in the
it
area.
does. It says properties for sale or rent, but then it's
Yeah.
got like an overview of the area, and then it has some
Oh, yeah.
developments in the area, and then it has some kind of like gallery. Then it's got more and more things about properties, but then prices, commercial prices, lifestyle and entertainment. Now he's kind of going in a different direction. Retail outlets, laundry. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is just like what exactly this page is supposed to be targeting.
Well, my guess would be just that specific community. I don't know what the archives is for, if that's an accident. They all have that? Oh, they all have that. All these pages, except for the last one. Let's see what comes up when we look up just that district.
So just like look at his URL. His URL is huge. It's like the name, and then it talks about some other part of it. It's like a sub-location of it, and then
I would just break it down personally for the permalink just to what the community's name is and leave all that extra stuff off. Huh.
yeah, I would advise that you look at how your competitors are structuring their URLs.
They're all, in all fairness, in the SERPs, it is all real estate related websites ranking.
Yeah, but look at their
they're
URL
all
structures.
shortened to the point.
Yeah, it's all
just do
split up,
the-
So it's like,
Yeah.
real
Yeah, what do
estate,
you
then
want it to
like the
rank for?
city, then like the island or whatever, and then the specific name of the place, He's trying to do it all like in one URL that's like 15
Yeah,
words long or
it's too
something.
much. Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely
Yeah.
rethink, look at your competitors. This is the biggest secret of SEO. The biggest secret of SEO is that all the answers are there for you, and all you have to do is Google your keyword and look at how the top ranking people are doing it. That's exactly what Google wants. So like look at your URLs that you've done and compare that to how your competitors have done that, and you'll see how their URLs just even for me, like it's hard when I look at your URL, I'm not even really understanding what I'm trying to look at here. But when I look at your competitors' URLs, I know exactly what their business is doing and exactly what this specific page is intended for, where I don't know with yours. And then also in your H1, you've got like archives here. Like why is this, what is archives? Like none of your competitors have archives in the name like that. And you've also got it in your title tag as well. This is like, these are some of your most, your URL, your H1, and your title tag are basically your most important on-page SEO things, and you appear to kind of done all of them incorrectly. You're not utilizing the space correctly. You could optimize it a lot better to help people understand what the page is about and get important keywords in these places. Sorry, Nick, were you about to say something?
Not sure, but speaking back on permalinks, a lot of newer SEOs are kind of maybe not newer, but SEOs that have some outdated information are always keyword stuffing in the permalinks. Keep it simple and shorter and go to the point. My preference whenever I'm building any new page is to keep the permalink as broad as possible when targeting. You can always break it down by making, like, if it's a very competitive page, like for example, this area served, basically, you create like it's a hub page, right? So it's going to have information that's all over the place about what goes on in this, what is it? A sub-district is what he's calling it. But instead of trying to keyword stuff a bunch of stuff into the permalink, keep it nice and simple, broad. Here's the sub-district, and all this extra stuff about another area, an island, about apartments and offices. It's all just keyword stuffing. You don't need to do that.
Just look at your
And if you look at your
competitors.
competitors, they're not doing that either.
Well, they have that kind of stuff, but it's just split up into like subfolders.
Well, it's different pages. Yeah, they're different folders. Yeah. And then let me click a few of these. But
Also, he doesn't have an H1. It's all H2s. Like every heading on the page is basically an H2. There's some H3s down at the end. But yeah, it's basically you have no H1, which is, another like on-page SEO super fundamental. One page needs one H1 tag. That's your most important heading tag. It's usually right up at the top. It kind of looks like the title of the page, but it's actually the H1. And when we say title, it actually means like the blue link you see, on a Google SERP. That's like when someone clicks to go to the page, that's your title. You can also see it like on the tab. If you have your browser tab open, the title is up at the top when you hover over the tab. So yeah, what?
now,
So I'm just going to pull up
Good.
our on-page guide. Go ahead.
just having said that, in and of itself, though, I don't know, from an on-page standpoint, looking at a real estate site, it's like, yeah, this is actionable advice. Like, definitely, fix these things. But ultimately, I still feel like they should be getting some more movement somewhere. 300 for a site this big, especially, I mean, like, it does look like it's all unique content. It's well put together.
Well, just looking at this one page, it's like, it looks like this page, he's trying to rank, and I'm going to use a random location name. I'll just say Houston. It looks like he's trying to
Yeah.
rank for the keyword Houston archives. Which, what the hell is that? Like no one,
Wait, what?
like the way his on page is set up on this page that I'm looking at, it looks like he's trying to rank for
Oh,
keyword
okay.
plus
Yeah, I see it.
archives.
Yeah.
So like, and this is just one page. I'm assuming the entire site has basically you haven't applied your keyword research to your on-page optimization. So Google's not really sure what the site is trying to rank for, or it's trying to rank it for stuff that you're not necessarily trying to rank for.
Yeah, and the permalink doesn't, yeah, I mean, it's all out of whack
Yeah.
even further than the title tag, so.
And then I'm guessing a lot of the site is just padding from these individual real estate things that aren't probably ranking for much of anything. The actual like listings, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how big like the site itself is, like without all of that padding.
Well, I do think these like community,
For example, his blog page, it looks like he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blog posts on the entire site that I can see about right now. And looks like he did post one week ago, then the last one 3 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, 6 months ago,
this guy's
11
using
months
these.
ago. So yeah, not really posting on the blog.
No EAT. Not seeing any interlinking from
I see some. I mean, there's some
wait.
EAT at the bottom.
Yeah, there is. It's just
It's
not.
got his socials on there. It's got a bunch of contact information and stuff. Make sure that you have separate pages for that kind of stuff as well. It looks like he does. But yeah,
No, I'm talking about just on his blog posts, like no author, no connectivity from the author to anything. Not that it's the end of the world, but. And then he does have interlinking. It's just same colors in any of the other text.
but these blog posts, basically, I feel like the blog posts are gonna have a hard time ranking. You take any website and say, hey, I have 7 blog posts. Why am I not ranking? Well, it's because it's got 7 blog posts.
The permalinks are still also all blown out on the ones that I've looked up too. So it's like he's not really targeting. I think, yeah, I mean, that's probably it. Not really good targeting based on keyword research, like you said.
Yeah, I think Google just doesn't know what to do with the site, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, do keyword research, find out what your actual keywords are, and you need to learn how to properly structure the site as far as using these things in the most important places: H1, URL, and title tag. But I also linked in the chat and on Facebook, I linked our on-page SEO guide. And this is not like an advanced guide. It's the fundamentals. It's the stuff you have to do. I'll probably go ahead and update that at some point. But if you just do what's in there right now, then you should be good. But yeah, that's what I would work on as far as right now. And it's gonna be a bit of a mess trying to clean things up in 301 redirect and everything. But the good news is you don't have a ton of traffic right now anyway, so it's not really the end of the world if it gets a little volatile for a little bit, right? Yeah, that's what I'd focus on right now. You have anything else to add on this one?
No, that's a solid place to start.
Cool. All right. Let's get this off. Nick, did you type in YouTube "loving the stream, guys"?
Yeah, I did. Just to see if it wouldn't help people
What a weird fella.
find the stream on YouTube, Well, you said nobody was on there, so I was like, well, is it broken?
Kyle Sharp says, hey guys, thanks for the great content. You're welcome, man. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and just let us know and we'll answer them. It looks like today might be a little bit of a slow stream, but yeah, doesn't matter how stupid or beginner or advanced you think your question is, just go ahead and drop it in the chat and we'll get to it.
Bring us some whoppers. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the show.
I think this question has a little bit of a follow-up as well.
I hope so.
All right, I sent an email about my site last week. Question about why some locations are ranking way better than other locations with less backlinks. I just started working on SEO in Feb. I have each location as a silo. Yeah, so we're gonna need to audit. Yeah, I'm not really sure what site you're talking about here. I have to apologize if we forget like who sends us what site and stuff. It's kind of especially doing it live. A lot of the stuff we don't remember, and we do a bunch of audits and whatnot. So Michael, if you have your site, go ahead and you could send us a PM on Facebook. That'd probably be the fastest way to get it to one of us right now. Or you could send it to, go ahead and send it to our email, info@sirlinksalot.co, and let me know in the chat, and I'll go grab it from there.
Hey, Carly. Welcome to the show again.
Carly, what's going on?
Another friendly face we see all the time.
All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, I am starting an SEO agency. What are some ways to get your first few clients? What are the top 3 advice you would give a new SEO agency? So I was gonna say my top advice is to know how to do SEO before you start an agency.
For sure.
Look for proof of concept first. Once you know how to rank a website, you're gonna understand how to sell that. You're gonna understand, what to tell people when you're talking to them, when you're sending emails. You're gonna understand, what they want, and you're gonna understand how to do it. And so, that's starting an SEO agency first. You want to be like confident in yourself, confident that you can provide the service that people are looking for, right? What else would you say is super important, Nick?
Well, I mean, that's, incredibly important, or at least having an understanding of proof of concept through other people you can outsource to get the job done, right? So if you've never ranked a website, I would advise, going ahead and doing that.
Or working for free.
I know
working for free or for very cheap until you have some results.
I know it's probably not, those are, especially like when I started, that's not the type of answer I'd want to hear. So, if you're looking at
my first SEO project I did for free. I did my first SEO project for free. I built the client a website, and then they wanted SEO, and they gave me like $1,000, and I used it all on SEO. I didn't keep any of that $1,000 for myself.
But you also already had like the networks worth using and stuff, right? So I'm like just thinking about it from like you're just getting started. Either way, like, I was going to go down a rabbit hole. It's best to have actionable advice. So, even if that's just building a rank to rent website, let's say that there's a good idea. If you legitimately, and so like that kind of ties into what Chris did because he built a local site. You can build one for free, or you're using your resources, or you can find somebody who's willing to give you resources to figure out how to do it, build them a website, then start working on ranking it. And once you get that up, then you've actually got proof that you know what you're doing, at least from a local standpoint. And from there, you can kind of move in any, which way direction.
I think I would I would like to play with other people's money and not my own, for sure. So I would find people that would let me work for free, but like basically pay some money, but be like, I'm not going to keep anything. I'll be totally transparent where all the money is going and everything. But the stuff isn't free, but my time is free until I can show results. Basically, I'm just trying to get started or whatever. And I think people, especially like kind of working class people, if you can find some nice like local business owners, I feel like they really respect that kind of thing. You just be totally honest with them, getting started. But yeah, getting some experience under your belt is definitely number one. And after that, everything's going to get a lot easier. And then as far as, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then, you're talking about, so my first clients, if I didn't have any clients, would be working for very cheap or for free, like I was just saying. And then after that, I'd be basically approaching people and giving value first is what I would do. Even though I haven't been in local for a very long time now, what I would do is I would be providing free video audits for people. I wouldn't ask them if they want an audit. I would just do the fucking audit. I would do the audit on a video, a little 5-minute audit, nothing crazy. And I'd probably be I try to probably send like 20 of those a day or something. Just go finding people that are on page 2 in the SERPs for some, decent businesses that have a little bit of money. Doesn't have to be the most competitive stuff like a dentist or something, but, some clients that have some kind of product that's not super, super cheap. And I'd be doing that and providing free value up front, which is the free video audit. That's a huge step above what all these other people are doing, which is just sending spam emails with zero personalization. It's tailor-made for them. It's about like their website and their business. So it's just a very strong way to get started rather than trying to get them on the phone and pitch your sales or whatever. You just value immediately, give them something. That's how I'd go about it.
Yep. Another good option, and I think like a lot of people that kind of fall into SEO, they find groups that they like, etc., and they think to themselves, oh, SEO seems like a really good way to make money. Truth is, it takes quite a bit of know-how, and there's easier ways to entry that aren't going to be as intensive on like the knowledge side of things. So let's start with one concept. People need websites. Learning how to build a solid WordPress website even before providing SEO to a client is a good way to actually make money up front. And, it's going to take some technical know-how, but this is stuff that you can kind of work on your own. It doesn't cost a lot of money to learn. You can't really mess it up, right? You're just working on design elements. You start making local websites for people, you can make decent money, especially if you're good at marketing yourself. And then off of that, you can even run ads, and ads, while it still takes some technical level of expertise, can result in, good money being made by the client right out of the gate. And people charge anywhere from 30% to 50% of the budget on the ad spend. So those two things right there could also be something you do to make a little bit of money right out of the gate until you do get a little bit more solidified with how to do SEO. And then that just tacks on, So like consider it the concept of the digital marketing agency before you just consider it a SEO agency as well, right? I think a lot of times we get obsessed with the concept of just doing SEO. And like we were talking to Greg Elfrink yesterday from Empire Flippers, who was kind of talking about that as well. It's, do all the things, not so much just one. And especially like SEO, for a lot of people, it's going to take quite a bit of time to find those recipes for success because it takes a lot of study. And then there's always volatility involved in learning, just due to the nature of it. Google changing things all the time.
Yes, sir. I think, ads is some good advice as well.
That's if I was starting over, I think I would have told my younger self, focus on ads right out of the gate.
Or at least, it's something to keep clients happy, get them some additional traffic right away.
For sure.
It's instant, right?
Yeah.
But you can also instantly lose a lot of money if you're not doing it right.
Yeah, but with the right local clients, like I feel like you could at least get them a few leads per month if they're giving you a decent sized budget, so it should
While
be
you sit around and do the on page for free or whatever, could be a good thing to do.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Do you guys have any thoughts on Google Analytics GA4 versus Universal Analytics? When I look at GA4, my organic traffic is quite a bit less than with Universal Analytics. Yeah, so there's a bunch of memes going around right now. There's a funny one posted in our Facebook group, SEO Roundtable, the other day. If you're not in there, you should definitely get in there. We're in every day posting things and answering questions and stuff. But yeah, as far as this goes, I think Nick, as far as her links a lot goes, Nick is supposed to be taking care of it. But honestly, it's not something I've really looked at much at all. And with this kind of things, it's never something that I'm never on top of the game when it comes to like, okay, so it's like Google was doing like mobile first. I waited until the storm hit to do anything.
Yeah.
I waited until Google, what was the other thing they did? Core Web Vitals, I wait until right when it happened to even figure out what it was, and then I didn't even honestly do much about it. What was the next thing? Schema. What was the other thing? Page speed, site speed stuff. I guess that was the mobile indexing. All of these things, like I feel like a lot of people end up wasting a ton of time
Worrying about.
on like trying to prepare for them and worrying about it versus what's actually necessary. With Google Analytics, I would say it could be kind of a bigger deal, especially if you have a bunch of clients, because then you're kind of like messing up. You're going to mess up like a bunch of like tracking and stuff. So that could be like a huge pain. And I feel your pain, but I don't share it because I don't have any
Yeah.
client. We don't have any SEO clients. We build backlinks. We're a link building agency. I don't have Google Analytics set up with anyone. I don't have to provide reports to anyone like that. Um, but yeah, just know that you're not alone. Everyone, as far as I can tell, it seems like the entire SEO community is just kind of like, WTF is this?
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's not as good as the last thing. You've got rid of all the good reports. The numbers are different. I don't know how to do anything. It's difficult and stuff's just not there. So really, I have no idea what the idea with this is. Um, but I will say one person you could follow is I'm gonna say her name wrong. I think it's Kaylee. Kaylee. I don't know if it's Kaylee or Kale, but Kaylee Larkin. Um,
Could be Kylie
Let me
too.
go. Yeah, it could be Kylie. I'll go ahead and post that in the chat for you. You can give her a follow on Facebook. And we were actually thinking about having her on the podcast at some point as well. But she's like a big like analytics person, and so she's been posting a bunch of stuff and making videos and doing podcasts about analytics recently. So you can definitely give her a follow. Maybe she's got some cool stuff for you. But yeah, not too much of an expert on this stuff ourselves. Anything to add on that one, Nick?
No, not really. GA4, we for Sir Links at least like waited till the end of this month to set up. Otherwise, we're gonna have issues beginning of next month. So we're in there, but I go in, like I look at traffic, etc., but I don't really concern myself too much with how different it is compared to Universal or anything else. It's just a gauge of whether we're moving up or down, what's doing best, etc., and broad overview of things. But like Chris said, without the need to really create reports for people, those details, aren't too much of a concern.
I will say that, I share Nick's opinion, but this is kind of like our schema thing. But actually, I would say this is more important than schema because you can actually do quite a bit with analytics, with like tracking, how things are performing, what it's leading to conversions and things like that. And it's definitely something that we're not super experts on, and it's something I would like to spend more time on in the future. So I'm not trying to say analytics is not important. It's just that, you know, we're SEOs, and this is just something that we're
It's funny
not.
because I was literally explaining to Chris earlier that I'd had a conversation with somebody about helping us get some stuff, some conversion tracking set up. And he said something dismissive, like, that sounds dumb. And he said, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "Just nothing, never mind."
Oh, that's what you were talking about?
Yes.
We should do it though. I
I'm
actually
already,
I was zoned
yeah.
out. I was doing something else. I just caught the end of it, and
I
I
know,
was like, "What
it's
is
just
Nick
funny we're
talking about?"
talking about it now.
But yeah, analytics is good. I'm not saying don't do it, but yeah,
Yeah.
not too worried about it, and can just kind of roll with the punches like we do with everything else.
Mm.
All right, so what else we got here? And like always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Also, join us on Facebook, SEO Roundtable. We're in there every single day answering questions and stuff. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Looks
Come
like kind of
on
a
with
slow
them.
stream today.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how stupid your question is. It doesn't matter if you think it's a beginner question or an advanced question, or maybe it's not even like super about SEO or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can go ahead and ask us. We're not going to judge you. That's our promise. We might laugh at the question, but we're not going to judge you. But yeah, anyway, let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna start answering some kind of questions in our group that I didn't really have the time to give full like long answers to. Oh, sorry, actually I forgot. Michael actually sent us site to
I
audit,
did.
so we can do that.
Let's give it a whirl.
All right, I just sent it to you.
Haven't we?
Name seems familiar, for sure.
Right? Or maybe it's just the same niche as one we looked into a long time ago.
Well, I remember that one as well. Or we had like one or two like this, but
Yeah,
yeah, I can't
same
remember.
niche.
Let me get his question again.
Just asking why some pages, some areas pages ranked better than others, I believe.
All right, so he says, I sent an email on my site last week, question about why some of the locations are ranking way better than other locations with less backlinks. I just started working on SEO in February. Okay, so it's like 4 months ago. I have each location as a silo. Not really sure what he means about that, but I guess we'll see. Love your opinion on the current structure. Okay, so some locations are ranking way better than other locations with less backlinks. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look. So first of all, the site looks like it's doing pretty good. It's actually kind of weird though, because you can see the Ahrefs traffic spike, but then the traffic came down again. I guess it's probably just a keyword bouncing around, but anyway.
Just moving around.
It does look like you're, even though there is a lot of volatility, it looks like the graph is definitely, trending upwards. Like you can kind of see this. Let me draw a little line for you. You can kind of just see it like going up this line like that, which is nice.
Yeah.
This is normal. It's never just
That's
a
good.
straight line up. There's always this kind of bouncing around, ups and downs. And yeah, it looks like you're kind of, Google keeps testing you, or you keep popping onto like page 1 for probably some bigger keywords. And the site is also, you're over 1,000 traffic. You're even going up to 2,000 traffic sometimes, and you're only DR30. And just looking at the site itself, it's probably not like the hugest niche or something. So let's see how many pages you got. 250 pages on this site. Right, let's see. I just want to see his top pages. So, okay, so you got some location pages in here. Looks like your location at Atlanta doing pretty good. Philadelphia. Okay, so you got kind of these things everywhere.
Yeah.
New York City. So first, to answer your question, so why your one location that has less backlinks might be ranking better than a location that has more backlinks is generally going to come down to two things. Your competition in those locations and maybe a needed topical authority for those locations. So as far as the competition goes, that's something you can check pretty easily. So for example, your Atlanta page, is ranking higher. I'm assuming that this page has less backlinks than your New York City page. Of course, you would like to rank the New York City page because the population's a lot higher, right? But, the New York City page is also going to be a lot more competitive. So it's going to be a lot easier to rank, your Atlanta page, maybe your Dallas page. What else you got here? Austin, Austin, definitely a smaller city, maybe Orlando, San Diego. I would assume those would be a little bit easier to rank for than say like New York. Or even then you've got like some much smaller locations, like for example, San Clemente. We know where that is because we have some good memories there. We had some
partied out
friends that
there
used to live
before.
there. But yeah, stuff like that should be easier to rank for than your other stuff. But actually it's not. So, San Clemente is like way down at the bottom. It's position 24 according to Ahrefs, and then he's ranking higher for Atlanta. It's on page 1 for it. Let's see. Wanted to see what he was saying
It's
about
kind of
silos.
weird. So originally when I first got on this site, oh, okay, so your menu's different on the inner pages than it is on the home page. So like home page, you've got drop-down menus that work from about, and then the other thing, the services. And that's where you find the locations page. However, when you go to inner pages, those drop-down menus are no longer available. Personally, I would fix that because I like crawlability through the main menu, especially, for all your locations pages. But if you go to URL /locations near me, then you'll find the hub page for all of the areas served that he's got. But yeah, I think for this site, everything looks good. Looks like you're doing things well. But yeah, it does come down to competition. One thing that I don't see you utilizing here is a blog, I don't believe. And so for areas that have a little bit more competition, you can help yourself out not only with backlinks, but with articles that, show kind of niche specific information on that particular area as well. So like for yours particularly, not to be too specific, you could have articles about, I don't know, taking pictures in a certain area, or something along those lines, and using that to interlink strategically to the areas served pages, etc.
Oh, I just found
You
something really weird. So for
know.
example, if you go to his Atlanta page,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like basically tried to create a mini website for each location. So if you go to the Atlanta page, are you there? And then
Oh,
click
okay, that's what
home,
he's. Oh,
and
that's what
that's
he means
considered.
by silo, is that there's no interlinking out. So like you come down into each
So when you
one.
hit home on the top menu now, it actually takes you just to that Atlanta page, keyword plus
Interesting.
Atlanta. And when you hit FAQ, then it takes you to that /FAQ. So it's like,
If you're out there, can you tell me which cities got the best rankings? Or I guess we can just look in
I really
Ahrefs.
don't
Let's
like
see.
what he's done with this.
Well, I want to see whether Google likes it or not. Because if he's got like two different areas where he's got organic rankings for each one of these, yeah, like initially I don't like it either. That's why I said add it to the main menu. But if he's getting some stuff to resonate in each particular SERP, then maybe, I don't know. I haven't messed with. I can't even think of looking at a site that's doing things quite this way. It's almost like creating like an orphaned area served silo.
I mean, his Atlanta page at least is ranking well,
Yeah.
but the other ones not as much. Actually at one of his competitors right now, and they're doing something. They're doing the same thing.
Are they really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, so I mean, if it works, it works.
I just sent you the competitor that's doing the same thing. When you click home, it takes you still on that page.
Okay.
That is so weird.
I mean,
Anyway,
I could see why it could maybe kind of work. It's not something that I've ever done. But it's hard to say that you should get away from this because I mean it is working for you. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is my personal opinion about it. I would still, if backlinks aren't quite getting you where you want to go, I would still say utilize a blog to create more related content that you can interlink to. Or even with the way you're doing it, you could do specific siloed blogs for each area served.
yeah, you could think of like a
Wouldn't be
few,
my preference, but
you could think of like some
you
supporting
could.
content you could do for each location, Um, and you could pretty much do like the same supporting content for each location.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to be, just seeing your niche, probably be something about like events, right? Something about
Yeah.
events in the area or parties or whatever. And yeah, you could kind of repeat that for every location. But yeah, this is just kind of blowing my mind, to be honest. It seems really, I mean, I guess it's not really the end of the world. It's just that they are using the menu in a very weird way.
Yeah.
And I don't know
It's
why
like it.
I don't know why they would want to call that, like, the thing that bothers me the most is clicking home and it doesn't go to the actual home page. But anyway, um,
Oh, that's interesting because I was just clicking their logo to go to the homepage. But yeah. And then what about in the footer? If we go to like, is the footer different for each one, or is there at least crawl? Because that's my main concern when you do something like this is crawlability issues, right? Like, ideally, you want Google crawlers crawling all over the place. Um, but again, these are local silos, so let's go here.
I'm just looking up Best Buy links, see what pages have the most links over here.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, he's still got crawlability for the entire site through the footer, so that's good. Yeah.
So it's like Orange County and San Diego have the most links. Chicago, NYC, Philadelphia. Atlanta's got like 8. Yeah, so, if I had to guess, I would just say a lot of these ones that have a lot of links is more competitive. But we can also
Yeah.
go and look at the links that you have to these pages.
A lot of them too have been coming in over the last, few months, which I guess is, when he said he started doing SEO, heavily backlink. But even like this main one, Orange County, he's still got rankings for that too. Um, Anchors. Anchors look all right.
Yeah, looks like it's got some like decent links in here.
Yeah. There's some like spammy directories and stuff, but overall, I mean, like, looks fine to me. I guess this too is maybe, yeah, he's got a 301 from something. Um, but yeah, overall, I mean, I think this looks fine.
Yeah, I might just take some time for the other stuff. Um,
But
let's
I'd say, like, for only doing SEO for a few months, like, it looks like you're doing pretty solid. I mean, like, no real red flags looking at anything. You're on the way up, your graph is looking decent on the up and up. And for a local based site, I would say since March you went from like 103 estimated organic traffic from total of 383 keywords to now you're at 1,500 traffic and 2,400 keywords. That's some rapid positive movement.
what's his authority? It's okay, you're a DR30. So I'm just looking at your Orange County location. I just wanted to look at your competitors real quick. So you're a DR30, right? And if you go to Orange County and see your competitors up here, number 1 is DR91, number 2, 95, 44, 31, 30. Oh, you're up here. You
Yeah.
you are here on
Yeah,
Orange
he's
County.
there. And I noticed, I mean, like, it's going to be hard to compete with those other ones
Yeah, I
because they're
mean,
also like national ranking sites that are not only about this specific niche.
And then you see below him, everyone below him actually has lower authority, 19, 10, 19.
Yeah.
So it's kind of playing
So I
out
mean,
the
like,
exact way you'd think it would play out.
hmm
What's another one that he's not doing well for? I'm gonna look at one more real quick. Let's see, maybe San Diego?
Wales.
Is he on here? Nope.
Nope.
But it looks like he could be because there's some lower authority ones on here. We got a 17, 9, 8. Not really sure where he's at on that one. Yeah, it's kind
He's
of
on
weird to be
page
honest.
2, bottom of page 2.
Gotcha.
Just looking in the SERPs.
You know, and like Nick said, you know, you've only been doing stuff for 4 months or so, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, things don't just, everything's not going to move at the same time, and everything's not going to, you know, this is one thing about SEO is that, like, it just doesn't work out how you think it's going to work out. It's going to be completely random. Things are going to behave really strangely. We're also in a really weird time of like Google volatility right now.
Yeah.
Google just seems like it's kind of breaking.
We were just in Algaru, pure red all month, every day but 2 days, orange days. It's crazy.
Yeah, anyway, you know, I think you can disregard what we were saying about the structure of your site, even though I don't like it and I don't think I would have done it like that. It really bugs me when you click home and it doesn't go to the home page of the website. But anyway, one of your big competitors is doing the same exact thing, so, you know, maybe it's the new thing to do.
I'm kind of sitting here going,
I still wouldn't do it though.
I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence about it.
Yeah.
Because historically it'd be something I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But now seeing it, you know, 2 times, I'm like,
I mean, well, when you think about it, so now he's got the anchor text going to each location page that says home. I don't like that. I don't want any anchor text, even if it's in a menu. I don't want the anchor text going to my internal anchor text to say home. I want it to say exactly what the page is. So maybe you could even like just change that. So instead of on your home, and when you click it, it goes to the location page of that silo, just change it to the keyword instead. I feel like or you could be like, you know, Atlanta keyword home or something. I don't know. I would just want to, I feel like you're really giving Google conflicting signals with this kind of thing, because, you know, you've got anchor text going to your home page that says home. You have anchor text going to each and every location page on your entire website saying home. So as far as like telling Google like what the site's about using internal anchor text, which is one of the big ways that Google comes to understand your site, it's thrown this massive like confusion into the system. Yeah, I really don't like it. But anyway, you know, it looks like it is working to an extent. I would do things differently, but I think as far as you go, you could just keep doing stuff. Maybe try adding some supporting content. Don't spam out your those location pages. You know, the ones that already have a lot of links that aren't ranking how you want them to. You could think about linking to some of the other pages in the silo, or yeah, if none of the pages in the silo make sense to link
or
to.
even your hub page.
Yeah, the hub page would be a good one. Or you could, you know, build out more of this kind of like event kind of type pages, just kind of supporting blog post type content for each location. That should help out with relevance, and it also gives you stuff to build links to, as far as you know, because then that page would interlink to your landing page, location landing page. You could also build some like link bait articles, you know, like best events in San Diego 2023. And you could list the events out, and then every event that you included on there, you could go and email them like, hey, congratulations, just want to let you guys know you made our best events list for this year, blah, blah, blah. And if you get lucky, some of them will actually link to it, because they'll say, hey, look, you know, they want to brag. They want to say, look, we made the best events list or whatever. So yeah, you can make the events list quite long, like 100 events or whatever. And just, yeah, email them all, try to get some free links like that. Yeah, anything left out on this one, Nick?
No, good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a strange audit. When it comes to like site structure and stuff like this, it's really hard to audit this stuff on Livestream. You know, backlink audits, I feel like we're very good at, and we can do like very quickly and stuff, and like basic kind of on-page stuff. But when it comes down to like site structure and you start getting really into the nitty-gritty of things, it's pretty hard to do live.
It takes more time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's such like a detailed thing, and we're trying to kind of go through quickly and pay attention to other people's questions and whatnot. So tried our best. Hopefully it helps you out. All right, so that's what we got here. What kinds of projects are you guys working on personally? I got some affiliate stuff going on. But yeah, Sirlinks a lot is like the main thing right now. We're really looking to scale Sirlinks a lot at the moment. So Sirlinks a lot's definitely the main project. But yeah, as far as other stuff goes, it's, you know, affiliate stuff, ads stuff, nothing too crazy, nothing like out of the ordinary. Yeah, anything to add on that, Nick?
Yeah, have handful of corporate clients, but no, still just affiliate. Went the e-com route for a little while. If you read my case study, you'll see that was something that I have since let go of. But yeah, overall, you know, Sirlinks a lot is going to be the main focus for us for the foreseeable future, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, this is something else that I like to talk about sometimes is, and I've actually seen some other people talking about this recently too. You know, it's good to be focused. Being focused is good. What you'll see is that in SEO, you know, SEO is one of the hardest things to scale. I think SEO is not, you know, when you know SEO, it's not that hard. It feels kind of easy. It feels like it's kind of been figured out. Even though things are kind of like random and things are changing all the time, it feels like, you know, you can kind of, you know, things have been figured out. But when it comes to trying to scale it and trying to do a bunch of different things at the same time, it can become very difficult, and you end up needing these like teams with very high level people on them to be able to manage stuff versus you know, being able to scale the more difficult things with kind of like you know, cheaper workers or whatever. So yeah, you know, that's part of the reason why it's hard to you know, have a bunch of different projects going on at the same time, unless you're like really like, you know, hiring like basically like a CEO of each company, or like the you know, someone to really run each website versus something that you're doing yourself, which is not something I've done yet. Usually, you know, when I'm doing a project, I'm the lead on it versus you know, hiring what would essentially be like a much bigger hire for that position. But yeah, some affiliate, but Sirlinks a lot is the focus. Let's see what else we got here. Should we follow the competitor backlinks? I'm guessing you're asking if you should try to get the same backlinks your competitors have, or the same types of backlinks. You know,
Can.
yeah, in general, we always tell people to do what their competitors are doing. But it's not, you know, like everything in SEO, it depends, right? Your favorite answer. So if, you know, you see a competitor spamming out their page with a bunch of crazy stuff that's not relevant and super cheap, low quality stuff, and they're beating you, you could try to do that. But you have to understand that it is a risk, and while they're beating you at the moment, that's not guaranteed for any amount of time, right? So doing what your competitor is doing is not always a good thing. But what I like to do is I do like to look at competitors, and I like to look at their good links. And you know, what you can do if you have Ahrefs, let me find a random website really quick. Cat toys for small cats. I think I did this one last time. Let's find one on like page 2 or something. I'm just gonna get a website that you guys can look at while I'm doing this. Here, we'll try this one. Hopefully it's not too big. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop in the website into Ahrefs. I'll get this on the screen for y'all. Yeah, so you can see these guys have like 4.7K referring domains, right? So you're like, okay, well, these guys are ranking really good. They got 3 million traffic. That's actually crazy. I was hoping to get a little bit smaller one than this, but whatever. And so then what you can do is you can go check out their backlinks and see which ones we can steal, right? But instead of just going down the list like this, because this is just insane to do and would take, forever, you can apply some filters. And what I usually do is something like this. I would do no follow, backlink type in content, which means it's contextual, DR5 plus. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Domain traffic, you can say like 250 or 250 plus, and I'll say no subdomains. So basically, this is a very low bar. DR5 and traffic more than 250 is very low. But basically, I just want to see stuff here that's kind of okay, and would be something kind of like a guest post that actually has some traffic. So right now it's at about 5,000 referring domains. Let's see what it goes down to. So now we can see it's about like 600, which is still quite a lot. So you could filter this further. You could say like from DR20 even if you wanted to. Down to 500 domain traffic. You can bump that up to 500. But it looks like this website actually has quite a bit of good backlinks. What would normally happen if you're applying these filters for sites that you're trying to compete with is, they'd go down from like, maybe like 1K or 2K referring domains. And a lot of the times they'll go like down like below 100, like even below like 50 a lot of the time. And that gives you a much more manageable list of backlinks that you can go and then look at. And most of the backlinks on here will be more worth getting because it's actually from quality sites with some kind of traffic. But of course, you'd need to dive in a little bit more, make sure it's relevant, right? And then, reach out to them, see if you can score links on them as well, if it looks like it's something you could do. But yeah, these guys looks like they actually have, a lot of like really good links. Do you have anything to add on that, Nick?
So it's good to look into your competitors, see what they're doing, backlink profiles. You can see what they're doing. Just like Chris said, you can go out there, you can do outreach, try and get those same links. However, don't get the misconception in your head that if you get the exact same links, hypothetically, that they've got, that you're going to rank just as easily as they are, right? And quite honestly, from the way like I do backlinking on a personal project, I'm almost never going to try and go score the same links that a competitor has. Now, that might be because I've got access to large link networks, but what I'm really going to look at is the quality of backlinks that they have, where they're ranking, and what I have to do to kind of emulate that kind of level of backlink quality, right? How many backlinks they have, what kind of sources they're coming from, etc. And then I'm going to try and emulate that, not with the exact same links that they have, but with comparable links, ordering from networks, right? Or, getting 301s, etc. And I'm going to try and rebuild from there. Not to say that getting some of your competitor links is not worthwhile. However, if that's like the only type of thing you're going to try and do, they've already got these links and, they're probably ahead of you. It's probably going to be damn near impossible to completely get the exact same link profile that they do or that they have. So to some extent or the other, you're going to have to rely on mainly looking at the competitive values of what those competitors have going on for them. And then you're trying to beat them out at that same game. And this is assuming that both websites are the exact same quality or comparable quality, right? So just things to think about.
But I do, especially for beginners, I really do recommend looking at competitor backlinks. It's just a great place to start. You already know they're linking to similar sites and to similar content, so there's a good chance they'll link to you as well. Can kind of just speed up outreach in a way. But yeah, you're going to want to go beyond what they have at some point. Can't just rely on just that. All right, it says, I just signed up for your managed link building. Can you tell me what's the ideal budget to get results in 2 to 3 months? So yeah, if you guys aren't aware, MLB, Managed Link Building, is our completely done-for-you service where basically the client sets a monthly budget, say $500 or $1,000, something like that. And then we analyze the site every month and we build backlinks and we deliver backlinks at the end of each month that we think would have the best results for them. So if you've signed up for MLB, I'm guessing you've already kind of talked about this with the MLB rep. But yeah, this is not really something we can advise on, and our workers are trained to not really answer this as well because it's, in all truthfulness, it's not something we can answer for you. The thing about SEO is, and the thing about backlinks is that backlinks are hugely important, but they're roughly, half the equation, if that. The other half of the equation is your website, your keyword research, your on-page SEO, your content, not to mention your competitors. What are your competitors doing? So, you know, it's really not something we can advise on as far as, when you're going to get results, and especially in 2 to 3 months. SEO is like an ongoing process. If you've been watching the stream today, you've seen that the guy we audited a little bit ago has been doing SEO for like 4 months, and he's still not really where he wants to be. He's seen some results, but he basically went from like 0 to like 2K traffic or something like that within 4 months or so, which is actually pretty good.
It's good, yeah.
But yeah, he also has complete control over everything that, he has control over the website. He's doing on page, he's doing content, he's doing all the stuff. But yeah, really what you want to do is you want to look at your competitor. As far as if you're thinking just backlinks, what you want to do is look at your competitors and see how many referring domains that they have. So, let's say that you look up your competition and your top competitors have like, 500 referring domains. Those are 500 links or 500 unique websites linking to them. We don't look at backlinks, we look at referring domains. And so eventually you're going to want to basically catch up to that. So if you want to catch up to that and to beat them, you basically have to say, okay, so what's my budget need to be for 500 referring domains in 2 to 3 months? But before I let you answer that question, you don't want to do that. You don't want to build, your competitors have most likely been there for a while and they accumulated these referring domains over time. Right. So it'd be really hardcore to build 500 links in 2 to 3 months. It'd be very hardcore and pretty unnatural, and could be kind of almost getting yourself into some trouble if you don't be very careful about it. But yeah, essentially you want to see how many referring domains your competitors have, and you're going to want to slowly catch up to that. As far as getting results in 2 to 3 months, you should get some kind of results in 2 to 3 months if everything on your website is okay. If you've done everything on your website okay, and you're not like super, super far behind your competitors, then you should have some kind of results, right? If we start building some good links to the website, but it's really hard to advise you. And yeah, I would just kind of try to get this 2 to 3 month thing outside of your head and just look at it more as this kind of like long-term project versus, okay, I'm going to build links for 2 to 3 months. Now I have results and now I can go do something else, which is not really how SEO and link building in general works. Do you have anything to add on that, Nick?
No, not really. I guess, just to name a couple other variables that can affect, whether a backlink campaign is going to work for you, regardless of budget too. I mean, like today I was talking to somebody who I ended up looking at their site, and they were talking about, well, we're going to spend, $1,500 a month on links for a couple months, get this thing, back up and running. I'm like, well, let me take a look at the site. Look at the site. They'd made quite a few on-page errors, and then looking at the backlink profile, I mean, we're talking about just pure over-optimized spam, over-optimized anchors, just all kinds of erroneous kind of ideas. And what they were looking to do was, oh well, if we spend $1,500 a month on backlinks for a couple months, this skyrocketing
Should be
ranking that
fine.
we had that tanked down to damn near zero is then going to come right back up. And that's just not the way it works, right? There's all these variables that you're looking at that come in a unison, and you've got to think like, like Google's algorithm. All of these things have to kind of be harmonious in order for you to get the results that you want. So even with MLB, there's other variables that we don't interact with, like on page. What content you're building, what have you done as far as link building in the past,
Yeah, previous
how
link
have you done
building.
your anchors, etc. That are going to play into how your campaign is going to do. And if you've done everything really well and you come to us, you will get, I can't tell you exactly what ideal budget to use, but if everything has been done properly, then you should receive the good results with using the MLB plan.
Yeah, so what you can do, if you want to figure out your budget, see how many RD your competitors have, and just basically say, okay, well, how much can I spend each month that will actually get me some good progress to catching up on to them. But don't try to catch up to them too quickly. Do it over time, spread it out. You don't want to blow all your budget really fast in the beginning. Just do the slow, steady grind. It's the safest way to do it. It's the most natural way to do it. And yeah, we're not trying to discourage you or anything. I hope that you can understand that the answers that we're giving is like actually like a truth to God, like honest answer.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people end up gravitating towards our live stream and end up buying our backlinks and stuff, is because we really try to like be honest with you guys instead of saying like, oh yeah, we're going to get you these results in 2 to 3 months and you're going to be, it's going to be awesome and blah, blah, blah. And we don't have this like very heavy, like kind of a sales approach to things. We try to be very real with people. We try to like set your expectations so that you have a realistic understanding of how SEO works, and not trying to sell you on some crazy dream essentially. All right.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this will probably be the last question here, guys, and we'll go ahead and take off.
I don't
Kindly give some advice and insights on finding and selecting a niche. How do you determine whether a niche you selected is good to go or not? So yeah, I would say one cool thing to do is to look at a website like Flippa. So you could go to flippa.com. Let me pull this up for you real quick. Cloudflare keeps checking me. It doesn't like my location, I think. But yeah, so basically, it's a marketplace to buy and sell websites. So you can go and you can search for something. Did they change it since I've last been here? Let's just go look at blogs. What is this? I feel like they've changed it since the last time I was here. But anyway, so yeah, you can basically, we're in here, we're looking for blogs right now, and you can use these filters over here on the left side. Yeah, so we're searching for blogs right now. You look, doing like review websites or like e-commerce, SaaS, whatever kind of website you're looking for. And then you can come down and I like to set like monthly profit and say it's like making a minimum of like $500 a month or something. And basically then you'd go through and find company, and then you could also do stuff like, so you could say it's like making $500 a month, and then you could set the authority score to something low. So let's say like authority score of 30, and it's making a minimum of $500 per month. Did that? Anyway, so basically I'm not going to try to figure out the website right now. I'm just trying to give you a quick answer, but set it for like $500 a month minimum and like a lower authority score. And that way you're going to find are websites that are actually making money and they don't have a ton of backlink authority, which means that it'd be easier for you to do. And you're already, you're able to, a lot of these websites, you can actually look at the actual websites, they don't have them blocked off, so you can actually pull them up in Ahrefs and stuff. You can go and you can look at what affiliate programs they're using. You can see exactly how these guys are making money and how much money they're making. So you have essentially what's a proof of concept already. You can find niches this way that are already making money, and exactly how they're making money and how much money they're making and how much authority and how much content they need to make that much money. So it's a really good way to get some like good insight into all that stuff. Other than that, I like to just poke around a lot on Ahrefs. I really like to find stuff that has a good amount of low competition stuff that you can start off ranking. So if you go into Ahrefs, let me see, Keywords Explorer. What's a niche we can go into, Nick?
Uh, Cat
I'm
toys
just gonna look
again.
up birds because I've been watching Julian Goldie's YouTube channel because he's just been doing some fun like AI experiments.
Mm.
So yeah, I've got into Ahrefs Keywords Explorer and I've typed in birds here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Then what you can do is you can come over to like questions over here. And so questions generally have a lot lower keyword difficulty just because it's more informational. It's not something like best bird cages or like, something like that, which will be more competitive with affiliates and stuff. So you can come into questions, hit view all. You can see right off the bat, just look at all this green in here, right? And you could play with these filters even more. You could do something like doing, you could say like keyword difficulty, maximum of 20, and you could say the lowest DR. So basically this is saying, you're looking for a DR 20 website in the ranking in the top 10. It's just something that we used to have to check manually, but Ahrefs updated their thing, so you can actually do this now. So now what you're doing is you're finding low keyword difficulty keywords that also have a low authority site ranking in the top 10. This is good to do because Ahrefs, the way they calculate stuff, keyword difficulty is based on backlinks to the specific page versus they don't really calculate that number looking at the website's authority. So this lets you do that as well. Then you hit show results. And then boom, you got all these keywords in here. And look at all this green with this like good search volume. These are not like super low search volume terms. These are stuff that you could rank for quite easily. And so you could really, start building up some traffic to your website and then kind of do like the Kyle Roof, avalanche technique where you, once you basically are ranking for a bunch of stuff in this kind of lower tier, then you kind of work up to the medium difficulty stuff. Now you're doing some interlinking and you're really trying to drive your traffic to your more money-making pages. And this stuff, maybe you're not making a ton of money off the informational stuff quite yet, but you could monetize with ads. And then using interlinking smartly, some buttons, some pop-ups and whatnot to get them to your email list or where you want them on your website. And so I spent a lot of time in the Ahrefs Keywords Explorer just trying to validate if the niche has some low competition stuff with decent like search volumes and whatnot. Anything to add on that, Nick? Finding a good niche?
Yeah, the only thing that I would add here is, especially when you're first starting out, some of it's going to depend on whether you're rolling this new project and this new idea with cash, and you're going to be outsourcing a good amount of it, especially like content writing or content creation, or whether you're going to be doing it yourself and you're going to be using your own sweat equity to, get this thing rolling. If you're like me, then you started probably with the first thing. And I remember thinking more with what I wanted my wallet to look like than what I wanted to do to kind of get me motivated to keep writing. If you're going to be the one that's writing, that's creating content, that's doing a whole bunch of that stuff, there's going to be openings within any broad niche. Okay. You'll be able to find them using what Chris just said. It's going to help you be motivated to work on this project, to want to kind of, put this content out there, to write about it if you're interested in it. Otherwise, you might have full steam ahead for a handful of months or even like 100, 200 articles if you've got that kind of gusto. But for the average person that never really wrote that much, it's going to wear you down. And even if you're not thinking about that, having something that you're more interested in, or at least a niche that you like to sink your teeth into, I think is going to help quite a bit. Now, if you're thinking just from, wallet perspective and you're rolling, trying to create teams, then yeah, if that's more your interest, then you can just kind of pick wherever there's openings and an ability to make money. But yeah, those would just be a couple of things to keep in mind when you're first starting a new project.
Yeah, and I'll just emphasize one more time, the last method I showed you, because we didn't really talk about monetization and that, but you want to find stuff that has that low competition stuff that also has a way to monetize.
Yeah.
So you always want to be looking, just go look up some of the big people in the space and just see how they're making their money, right? See if there's anything, if there's any there. You don't want to pick something that's really hard to sell people on. So what would be an example of this? Actually, I don't even know if this would be a really bad one, but for example, like minimalism, it's the idea of you not needing much or whatever in your life to be happy. So if you're doing kind of like a spirituality blog and it was based on minimalism, well, how much are minimalistic people going to want to spend, right? But I could be wrong on that. They might want to do some like courses, or there might be some affiliate programs out there for like little retreats or getaways or a book or whatever. Coaching, I'm not really sure, but
Minimalist accent vases designer. They spend
yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean, you
money,
could get
those
like
guys.
if you went to like minimalist like design type stuff, yeah, for their home or whatever, then it would kind of turn into
Yeah.
a pretty like different type of website at that point. It'd be kind of like a product reviews and recommendations things from a more spirituality website. But hey, it might be actually something worth doing because it would all be based around minimalism still. So you might might want to look into Nick's idea right there. I actually kind of like that idea. That's cool. But yeah, anyway, yeah, always look for monetization. Make sure there's a way to make money on it. And yeah, also most of the time you don't want some like super like super small ticket items, right? You want something a little bit larger would be ideal. Something that's not like $5, $10. Would definitely be easier for you to make some money off of if you're doing affiliate. Um, Anything else on that one, Nick?
Oh, all good.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there. Carly, you are very welcome. Hopefully you got something educational or, yeah, learned something from the stream. Like always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Join us on our Facebook group, SEO Roundtable. We're in there every day posting tips and answering questions. You can also join us on our email list. That's where we really kind of update everyone as far as backlink sales we've got going on at our agency. We've actually got niche edits on sale for the next 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. And it's niche edits are, I think, actually our number one backlink product. It's one of the best ways to build authority with relevant, do follow links from real websites. So those are on sale for 2 more days. They don't go on sale very often. Next time will probably be Black Friday. But yeah, and then what else we got going on? We just dropped a podcast yesterday or the day before with Benjamin Gorman. It's a writer we met in Saigon at the SEO conference. We talked about humanizing AI content, which is basically editing your AI content so that it's not just the kind of standard regurgitated crap that ChatGPT spits out most of the time, and some processes that your writers, which are now be editors, can follow to get everything looking good. We just recorded a podcast with Gregory Elfrink of Empire Flippers yesterday or the day before. And that's going to be definitely one you want to pay attention to. We talk about the state of buying and selling websites in 2023. Now that AI content is here, what's going on with that, if site valuations are up and down, what you can do to your website to make sure that it sells for a good amount when you want to sell it. And you are going to want to sell your website. You're going to want to sell your website instead of taking, $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month. You're going to want to get 30 times or 40 times that amount right up front, get a ton of money, go buy a new house, and then start a couple more little websites, right?
Yep.
That's the game. That's the plan. So definitely a cool podcast. It was awesome catching up with him. Anything else? What am I missing? Some product updates coming.
Yeah, the niche edits aren't the new level of barrage style. They're not out yet, right?
No, but yeah, we got some new stuff coming with edits. We got some new stuff coming with domains. We got some new stuff coming with PBNs. We got some new stuff coming with press releases. We got some new stuff coming with profiles. So actually, we got a bunch of new product stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
coming
stuff coming
recently. It's not something we've done in a while. We've kind of been with the same, just no big changes recently. We've got a bunch of changes going on, offering more stuff up, a lot more variability for you guys and some better offers as well. Yeah, definitely some cool stuff to pay attention to. So definitely email list would be the best way to be notified about that stuff, but Facebook group would be pretty good as well. All right, I am out of breath talking about all these updates.
Yeah.
Anything else?
You really pitched it there. No, I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch
If
going
they don't
on.
know, they definitely know now.
All right, guys. Yeah, we will see you next week. It might be kind of weird because I'm actually going back to the United States on
Yeah.
Sunday night.
And I will.
Are you going to be home next
Oh,
week?
no. Yeah, I take off on the 8th to the 19th. I'll be in Colombia, and then end of the month to beginning of the following month, I'll be in Argentina.
Okay.
So I'll be traveling around, but it looks like Wednesday is open and stuff, so I'll be good to go on stream.
Might not be Wednesday, might have to be Thursday, but we'll keep you guys updated.
No problem.
Yeah, you can in the Facebook group, we'll update you there, and we'll update on a YouTube post as well, just time and date. All right, guys. Adios. See you next time.